Megadeth's Rust in Peace album, I say, is maybe the best thrash speed metal album ever. For my money, the combination of the ferocious riffing of Dave Mustaine and the absolute insane melodicism of Marty Friedman, not to mention other Dave, his bass playing is incredible, and Nick Menza is just off the charts. For my money, best metal drummer of all time. Marty comes in after playing with Jason Becker in Cacophony and some solo stuff. At the time, I think he was using either like these Laney AOR heads or the 80A MP1. Either way, those albums are not big full-bodied tones. They're really kind of thin and kind of needly tones. Pretty rough going there, but the playing is just off the charts. It's just a little hard to listen to. So you put Marty where you get some good production and you get this awesome Dave Mustaine riffing behind it. It just goes to an absolute another world. I've never heard anyone play like Marty, and I don't think there ever will be. I mean, his technique is peculiar at best, and he just seamlessly folds it into these incredibly melodic solos. In Megadeth, there seemed to be a lot of conformity. He had rules like you could never leave a hotel unshaven, your hair always has to be done. You look at the videos and like everybody gets tights. And I think they had matching guitar rigs, too. Dave has used Marshalls a ton, even though he has other stuff in his racks. It seems like he goes back to Marshalls, maybe even for recordings often. The rhythm guitars on Rust in Peace are rumored to have been recorded with an early hand-wired Bogner triple giant preamp. I get a chance to actually rented one of them because a local guy had one, and it sounds exactly like Rust in Peace. There's a very peculiar kind of sound. It's a little high-endy, a little maybe nasally. Works perfectly for that album. It must have come out of this preamp, because as soon as I dialed it in, I was like, oh, this is Megadeth Rust in Peace sound. I have to assume they were using that because it sounds just like it. For solos, Dave had mentioned he used cranked Marshalls. Doesn't sound like a crank Marshall on Marty's side, and in their racks and in some mentions, you got to go deep in every magazine and find that one mention. Marty mentions for solos, he used this little unassuming preamp into a VHT 2150, which is an absolute flamethrower. But this little preamp, here you go, the Real Tube 2 preamp from TubeWorks, designed by BK Butler, who also designed the tube driver, the famous tube driver of Eric Johnson fame, and those things sound amazing. So they made several models of this. They made a blue one, which, as I understood it, was kind of for synths. And why am I holding this? Is for synths and maybe bass, kind of a warmer upper kind of vibe. There is the white one, which is like a tube driver put in a rack. And then there's this, which is a preamp. It's 2 channels. They're sort of, as they describe it, like a plexi here. Doesn't sound like a plexi, but it's a nice sounding channel. It just has a volume, treble, bass, and mids over here. And then if you drive it hard into the VHT, it gets this great grind. It sounds really good. And a pretty nice clean sound also. Channel 2, or the drive channel, is gain, master, treble, bass, mids, but also have this interesting contour which if you go all the way to one side, as they describe it, is kind of like a Mesa Boogie kind of sound. The other side is a Marshall sound. It's sort of a whole rig just put in this small package. And speaking of small packages, look at this. Tiny. Let's crack it open. Well, look at that. That actually makes me feel a little better because, to be quite honest, that's just about as many components that are in most of the sort of normal preamps. This has got all the stuff, you know. All right, maybe I should plug it in and show you what it sounds like. Now you can see in Marty's rack, the controls are kind of up and just a little back, like 4.8-ish on everything except the gain and maybe the master. So that's my Marty preset. It's the TubeWorks RealTube 2 preamp going into a VHT 2150, hitting a Marshall 412 cab, vintage 30s SM57, and that's the sound I heard at the beginning. Sounds like Marty's tone. Let me show you where I'm at on this sort of Marty preset. The VHT's volume is this contour knob is really the most powerful thing on the unit. Everything got tightened up. You go on the other side. This is that what they call more of a Mesa Boogie sound. Not tight, but fat. So you're trying to find that balance in between. Yeah. I mean, you're not really going to get a big, crunchy, super tight sound out of this preamp. It's more of that fat. It's a nice full-bodied lead sound. So you see the tone knobs are sort of backwards. Let's just go 5 and work from there. It's nice, right? Right? Once you start pushing it into a zone where it just is not that kind of preamp, things start to fall apart a little bit, but you know, this is kind of what the lead channel is on it. All the gain. Marty stuff is so hard. It's just weird and all over the place. The phrasing is weird. I mean, who does, like, in a pentatonic shit? What planet is that guy from? Weird Planet. Amazing Weird Planet. Let's check out channel 1. The clean. You know, not much to write home about there. it's a sound. Remember? See, start pushing into the VHT, and the VHT goes purr. So I think that's where the drive is coming from. That's really nice, though. A little bitey, but quite nice. It would be so nice to have an extra volume to pull that back. You know, you go full blast, and I'm driving all the way into the VHT. And it's just too loud to control. All right, I'm punching in with the Tele. I'm turning the VHT down. Good stuff there. Around this era of preamps, there was this stacking idea. Almost no one got it right. The Matchless Preamp has it. It's kind of in the Mesa Boogie DNA. They kind of get it right for the most part. You take one of the preamps and drive it into the other, so you have like the clean sound. Even Dumble's Overdrive, I believe, is based on that kind of thing. So you're kind of shoving one preamp into the other. This one actually does it pretty well because you have a clean side here and you've got the tube driver over here. Now we're stacked. It's really the clean channel. This is deactivated. Then we have a stacked master volume, which is sort of the master volume for the whole unit. And we're driving this guy in to that guy. So, you know, if we pull the bass out, push the mids, give it a little bit of juice. It's like a big fat distortion box. See, it gets kind of nice. It gets kind of brown. That's a good sound. Yeah, that's a really good sound. I like that over there. That's the master. I pulled the wrong one. Goo. And, you know, this is not a scoop the mids kind of preamp. Just sound goes away. There's no mids to scoop. It's at a weird frequency that it just don't scoop. There you go, guys. These come in at around $300, which is an incredible deal for a high quality preamp. Don't look at how big it is. You know, it's as big as it needs to be. It's a really good one. If you can't track one down, but you're a Kemper guy, I got Kemper profiles of this setup, and they sound like Marty. So that's cool too. So you don't have to go sifting through eBay. All right, guys, please like and subscribe. Look, it's right there. How hard is it just to go click? It's just one more click of your million clicks a day. Thank you for watching. See you later.